The session is called to order Tuesday, January 20, 2026. Roll call, please.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Ellison, council members, and city manager. This is the roll call for January 20th, 2026. Mayor Ellison,
Here.
Councilmember James,
Present.
Councilmember Gunn,
Here.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Present.
Councilmember Akins Wells,
Here.
and Councilmember Mears.
Here.
Mayor Ellison, you have a quorum.
Okay, first, we will have the adoption of the agenda with any additions or deletions. I'd like to ask for a motion to adopt the following changes. Council discussion of resolutions. Approving revised incentive policies for item number 1. And removal of item number 5. Is any discussion?
I'll make a motion that we accept those additions and with deletions.
Can't make the motion, just the work session. We're not vote. Right.
No, so you can motion, just we're setting the work session agenda.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm confused. My apologies, Councilwoman James. I second.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried. There's no consent agenda today. We'll go to new business. Council discussion and approval of a resolution to approve a revised public incentive policy. The background history, could we have a representative from Human Resources to read the background history?
Yes, Human Resources has conducted a review of the city's existing and city's incentive structures and identified the need for updates to ensure alignment with the wage framework previously presented. As the city continues to evaluate its compensation practices, it is essential that incentive programs are structured to effectively support recruitment and retention objectives, reinforce internal equity, and promote workforce stability across all departments. The review determined that the current incentive approach is not consistently aligned with the established wage structure and in some instances may result in unintended pay disparities or inconsistent application across roles. In response, Human Resources is advancing a more standardized citywide incentive framework designed to ensure incentives are clearly defined, equitably administered and appropriately aligned with job classifications and compensation objectives. This effort enhances transparency, supports market competitiveness, and strengthens the city's long-term sustainable compensation strategy. Good evening, Mayor and Council. The item before you is the proposed approval of revised employee incentive policies as part of Human Resources citywide review of pay structures and incentives, including public safety. We evaluated both how incentives were structured and who had access to them. Through that review, we identified 2 important findings. First, public safety departments historically had certain incentives in place, including hiring incentives and education or certification related bonuses. However, those incentives were not always aligned with the city wage framework and in some cases created equity, compression, or administrative challenges. Second, much of the general workforce comparable incentives, such as tuition assistance, education recognition, and recruitment tools did not exist at all. This process allowed the city to do 2 things simultaneously: to align and modernize existing public safety incentives and to expand incentive opportunities to all city departments using a consistent, equitable framework. The proposed revisions establish a standardized citywide incentive model that clearly separates base pay from incentives. Incentives are structured as non-base, non-pensionable mechanisms using flat rate tuition reimbursement, one-time education and certification completion bonuses, recruitment-related incentives, and assignment-based operational differentials paid only when the qualifying duties are performed. Overall, the revised policies improve clarity, consistency, and equity across the organization, support recruitment and retention, and provide better fiscal predictability for the city. Human Resources recommends approval of the revised incentive policies as presented, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any discussion?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I would just say thank you so much for the work that you are put into this. Just so that everyone knows, we're just trying to make things right as a result of our wage and compensation study, and realizing that we did have some of our employees that were expecting some incentives, and this makes it equitable going forward and moving forward. So thank you for the work you've done.
My pleasure.
Councilman Gunn?
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So to echo my colleague, thank you so much. This is very thorough and very detailed. I just had a question on the line item incentive programs, educational incentives, B tuition reimbursement. It says with the grade, the graduate one is pre-approved and has to be job relevant. Do the undergraduate ones, it just says the requirement is just a grade. So does that mean that they can major in anything and it's not job relevant?
No, sir. All of them are job relevant.
Okay. I would just say maybe adding that in there too, just so we make sure that's clear. And somebody doesn't sign up for a class and then expecting that reimbursement. And this is just for public safety. This is,
No, this is citywide for all departments.
so somebody in finance can pursue a degree in finance and then get tuition reimbursement?
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you.
Councilman Wells?
No, I don't have anything.
Next item on the agenda. Council discussion to approve case number TA 2025 04 text amendment for Title 8. Planning and Development, Chapter 8, Zoning, Article A, General Provisions, text amendment for Title 8. Planning and Development, Chapter 8, Zoning, Article F, Boards and Commissions, Section 8-8-160, Rules and Procedures of the City of Forest Park Code of Ordinances to amend such section, adding subsection D, exemption for single-family home alterations. Planning and Community Development, you have a representative here?
Yes. Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager. During prior council discussions, concerns were raised during the requirement for homeowners to pay application fees and undergo urban design review board for minor exterior improvements intended for routine maintenance or residential beautification. In response, staff initiated a text amendment to Title 8 Planning and Development to establish an exemption for certain single-family residential alterations that do not impact the overall architectural character or visual quality of the community. The proposed amendment is intended to streamline the review process, reduce unnecessary procedural and financial barriers for homeowners, improve administrative efficiency, and allow the Urban Design Review Board to focus on projects with meaningful urban design impacts. The text amendment was reviewed by the Planning Commission on January 15th, 2026, and is now before Mayor and Council for final consideration and action. If approved, qualifying single-family home improvements, such as exterior painting, would no longer be required to go before the Urban Design Review Board. Review or associated application fees would no longer be incurred. This encouraged residential reinvestment and neighborhood beautification while maintaining the city's design standards. So just a little additional background. We have had a number of with the city's efforts in beautification, a number of homeowners come into our office with concerns about, the application fees and the costs. As the city moves forward in their beautification efforts, we encourage homeowners, to reinvest into their properties, paint their homes, and just uphold the standards of, the new investment going around the city. So with this text amendment, staff will be able to review those considerations internally, and they will no longer have to be presented to the Urban Design Review Board for just minor upkeep.
Any discussion?
Thank you so much for your department, coming back around to address this, because this was an issue that took place last year with some of our residents that had concerns about paying out so many different fees, just to bring about home improvement. There are two questions I do have. First paragraph, last sentence, it stated an exemption for certain single-family residential alterations. What would solidify who would fall in that certain single-family residential alterations? How do you make a difference who would be exempt and who would not be exempt?
So there still would be an internal review process where staff would review what the applicant or the resident is proposing to do at the time. If it's just, their paint on their home is outdated and they want to update the paint color, and it's similar, just want to refresh, then that's something we will review internally, and then we would not require them to move forward through the Urban Design Review Board process. So this just allows for basic updates and beautification to continue. But on the other hand, if the applicant is wanting to do a full renovation where they're, changing the facade out and different things like that, then they still would be required to go forward with Urban Design Review Board. This just protects the homeowner that just wants to update their home, refresh the paint, ensure that their property maintenance is up to date as surrounding areas as new homes and new renovations occur surrounding their properties.
And the second question posed is, how are we going to push out this information to our residents of this change? Are there going to be some, I don't know, posters, flyers, emails? How do we, because we need to get that out to them to let them know this is something that we came back and revisit. There has been modifications. This is what the city is going to do moving forward. So I really want you guys to take in consideration the marketing part to make sure that this gets out to our residents. And thank you so much. You guys have done an amazing job. So I asked a question, then gave a solution. Good googly moogly. I'm sorry, Ms. Savon, will you, anything?
Yes, so we have been communicating with the residents who have come into the office wanting to update their homes that this was coming to mayor and council for final vote. So now that, or after you all vote to pass this, we will communicate with applicants because they always call us to say, I want to do this with my home. What steps do I need to take? So we'll communicate with them internally when they call, when they come into the office. But yes, I do agree that some formal communication should be sent out. So we'll work on drafting something and sending it out, maybe through one of the city's news releases that we can send out to the public on a news release.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now I know how Councilwoman Wells feels when I steal all her thunder, but yes, everything that Councilwoman Gunn said, thank you so much. And just to, let the citizens know that we're listening to you, and things like this that we can change, we will. It just takes time because these are changes we're setting for the future. So just to echo her, I think I would really like to see something. I know we got an amazing production team, and we got our anchor level person with Miss Warrior that knows how to, animate a screen. So I would like something that, that Javon has done in the past with, showing what we can do now and, the changes that we made to these laws. So this will encourage a lot of our residents to make the changes that might have not been able to in the past based on these fees. So thank you for updating us with this.
Thank you.
Same, what my colleague said. Thank you for listening to us and listen to the residents, because when we listen to them and y'all listen to us, then this is the outcome. Things get done. So I appreciate you and your staff for being effective and prompt and getting this done. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
No question.
Next item, stay where you are. Council discussion to consider appointments of the Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council and City Manager again. At the November 17th, 2025 City Council meeting, Council discussed the appointment of the Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee, but elected to defer action until after the newly elected mayor was sworn into office, allowing her to participate in the appointment process. The mayor has since assumed office, and staff is now bringing the item forward for council's consideration in accordance with the prior direction. Under the Georgia Development Impact Fee, the city is required to appoint a Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee prior to the adoption of the Development Impact Fee Ordinance. The committee serves in an advisory capacity and is responsible for providing input on the proposed Development Impact Fee Ordinance and fee schedule, which are anticipated to be presented to City Council for consideration in 2026 as part of establishing a Development Impact Fee program. State law requires that committee members to consist of 5 to 10 members, with at least 50% of the membership representing the development, building, or real estate industries. Members are not required to be city residents. The law also allows the city council at its discretion to designate an existing body such as planning commission or development authority to serve in the advisory role, provided the statutory composition requirements are met. So yes, I just wanted to bring this back to you all, to the board, regarding the development impact fee as the city moves forward and its initiative for change and bringing about change in development within the city and new developments as they come into the city. I did not want to wait until later in the year to bring this back since you're here now. You all are able to provide your appointment so that we can establish this program and move forward with the development impact fee ordinance.
Wonderful. Any discussion?
So the question I have, thank you, Madam Mayor. Question I have is, do staff have recommendations as to who you would like to sit on the board? Do you have any recommendations? I guess that's what I'm asking. And then my second question is, I'm not sure, Madam Mayor, how many people have actually put in their application and who's interested in this position. So I'm going to defer to the council, but I would like to hear if there's any staff recommendations.
So when we originally submitted this information to council back in November, we did provide examples of which staff could be selected. So there were a few names provided at that time. So we can utilize those list of examples, but we also can elaborate based off of the direction that you all would like to move forward towards.
Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Gunn?
Oh, I'm sorry. No questions. Thank you.
No questions from you, ma'am?
No.
No question.
So, Madam Mayor, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So I guess my question would be, who would we want to appoint to this committee? Because that's what's up for discussion. And I don't have any recommendations. So I don't know if any other council members have recommendations. If not, I would defer to the Madam Mayor or the staff.
Yeah. We'll just wait on staff recommendations and we'll speak more in executive session.
Okay.
Next item, council discussion to consider appointments of the Public Arts Review Board.
Yes, good evening again, Mayor, City Council, City Manager. At the February 3rd, 2025 City Council meeting, Council approved the text amendment to Title 8 of the City of Forest Park Code of Ordinances, establishing the Public Arts Review Board, PARB. This action formally created a governing body responsible for administering the city's public art program, Forest Park Arts, and overseeing the review and approval of public art installation throughout the city. Pursuant Section 8-8169 and 8-8170 of the Code of Ordinances, the Public Arts Review Board is charged with reviewing and rendering decisions on proposed public art displays, including murals, sculptures, statues, and other artwork located in public spaces to ensure compliance with adopted guidelines and consistency with the aesthetic, and to ensure compliance with adopted guidelines, and cultural values within the city of Forest Park. The board also provides feedback to applicants maintains an official record of approved public art in their locations, elects officers, and conducts meetings in accordance with open meeting requirements. Section 8-8171 establishes the composition and terms of the Public Arts Review Board. The board consists of 5 members, including 1 representative from the Downtown Development Authority, 1 representative from Clayton Arts, 2 local artists, and 1 member of the Forest Park community. All members must be at least 18 years of age, must be residents of the city of Forest Park, and may not serve as members of the city's governing authority. Board members serve 2-year terms and may be reappointed. And I've also requested that Director Dennis come forward and provide additional context to the reason why we brought this to the board today.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council, Interim City Manager. I don't have a whole lot to add. Thank you, Ms. Kumasa. However, as part of the Downtown Development Authority, and particularly Downtown Main Street, and our LCI plan, which is our guiding Bible or principle, if you will, for downtown development, public art has always been a strong consideration for the area. We are in the position right now that we have 2 opportunities for public art murals within our downtown Main Street. But to move that forward, we need a public, what are we calling it, Public Arts Review Board, PARB, Public Arts Review Board. So we need this in place. We have reached out last week, the Clayton County Office of Tourism reached out to us. They have identified 5 locations throughout Clayton County. Forest Park, whoop, whoop, has been selected as one of their locations for a mural installation piece that will be along Forest Parkway. I can't say a whole lot more about it other than that right now, but know that it is coming. And then we also, through the efforts of Councilwoman Gunn, we are early in conversation with the Atlanta Science Festival, which is a long-term festival that's gone on in Atlanta proper. And with that, the NASA Life Sciences. And so what this does for us is that it allows us to spread our tentacles, or the tentacles from Atlanta and the Atlanta Science Festival directly in Forest Park. We have worked with them. We've had a series of meetings and discussions, have come up with 5 possible locations. They love the location that we initially talked about, Councilwoman Gunn, but to move forward in earnest with that partnership and with some public art murals in our community, we do need this Public Arts Review Board to be established. Are there any questions? Nope. Give it back to you.
No, not for me.
I would like to, would it be possible to include somebody there from the beautification committee? Because I know that that's like a big thing that they're always talking about that.
That is an internal conversation that Ms. Kamasa and I have discussed about how we leverage. In addition, we know that this committee would require the appointment of one of our members of the DDA, but we did have conversation last week about how we can leverage the existing beautification committee in our public art efforts.
I would recommend a person from them. That would put you to 6, and then adding a person from the DA, and not just the downtown development, because that's kind of spread citywide.
Mhm.
So
That is very
my
true.
recommendations, but super excited about this. Art has been something that is, something I'm very passionate about. So I'm glad we're putting forward. Will the mural be funded by Clayton, or we would have to pay for
The
it?
mural right now, the one that is for the Office of Tourism with Clayton County, would be funded by them.
Wow.
I know. And then the other with NASA through the Atlanta Science Festival would also be funded by them. What they're looking for from us is a commitment to public art. It would be a 2-year commitment to whatever building we land on to paint a mural on. They would bring the artists and all of the necessary supplies. This is where the PARB becomes important, because the artists would present their sketch concepts for the review board to review and sign off on before they start painting.
When we had the first year of our youth committee, we went out in the community, identified like 8 different places. So I can send you those over.
That would be
as
fantastic.
starting points, but there's a few that we saw in the city that would
Okay.
just, make great space for murals. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I'm excited. I'm excited of us moving forward, and I totally agree with Hector, Councilman Hector, that we need to choose someone from that beautification board. And they're getting phone calls. And so I think that would be a very vital component for them to be added to that. Um, and excited with all of the art that is going to be brought to the city. I'm excited. We'll come back with further information dealing with NASA and the science academy. And so they're going to be working closely with our STEM schools, which would be Forest Park High, with our parent liaison, and Forest Park Middle School. So excited about that.
Anyone else?
No.
I do have one question, just for clarification's sake. Attorney Magicarty, it says section 8-171 establishes, and it says it consists of 5 members. Are we able to increase that number from 5, or does it stand at 5?
So it stands at 5 right now.
Okay.
There is one member of the public that can be appointed, just a general Forest Park resident. So I'd recommend that being the person from the beautification committee.
Thank you.
Because this is actually in the zoning code. We have to follow Zoning Procedures Act. And so we'd have to re-advertise in order to, and have a public hearing in order to change the composition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 5 has been removed. And we are going to motion to recess the work session and enter executive session.
So moved.
Litigation, oh, sorry, real
Go ahead.
estate and personnel.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. A motion to adjourn the executive session and reconvene work session.
So move. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Work session reconvene. This time we will adjourn the work session. And the regular meeting is now called to order. We have the invocation by Dr. Joseph Durham.
Please join me as we pray.
Please stand if you're able.
Father God, we thank you for this evening, and we thank you mostly for your presence that's among us and in us. We ask, God, that you would hear our thanks for our leadership of our city and of all the citizens. Thank you for allowing us together. And we pray as the business is done, that you be honored and glorified in all that's said and done. And we ask in Jesus' name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Director Brown, roll call, please.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Ellison, council members, and city manager. This is the roll call for January 20th, 2026. Mayor Ellison,
Here.
Councilmember James,
Present.
Councilmember Gunn,
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez,
Present.
Councilmember Akins Wells,
Here.
and Councilmember Mears.
Here.
Mayor Ellison, you have a quorum.
First item, adoption of the agenda with any additions or deletions. We're asking for a motion to amend the agenda. Item number 1 should be revised to state council discussion of resolutions approving revised incentive policies and removal of item number 5. Any discussion?
Madam Mayor, the item number 5.
I'm sorry, item number 9,
Okay.
and that's amend number 6 in new business and remove item number 9 in new business.
Okay, got it.
So move.
And I'll second.
Any discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. There are no consent agendas this evening. And we'll move to the next item, approval of the minutes, motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion. We approve the work session and regular minutes from January the 5th.
A second.
Any discussion? The motion carries. All in favor?
Aye.
Doing good. All right. Next item will be our public comments. We have Dr. Falami, would you? Oh, I'm sorry, read the quorum first, the quorum.
Okay. Rules of Procedure and Decorum, Section 2-1-7. Comments will be limited to a total number of 3 minutes per speaker. 21 minutes are allotted in total. Members of the public are not allowed to participate in any debate or discussion conducted by the governing body members. All public comments must be limited to matters on the agenda or over which the governing body has jurisdiction. Matters outside the jurisdiction of the governing body include, but are not limited to, personnel matters such as disciplinary proceedings, grievances, evaluations, or pending appeals. Personnel matters are administrative in nature and shall be addressed via the city's established administrative policies and procedures. Each speaker must maintain a decorous demeanor and refrain from personal attacks upon members of the governing body or employees, shouting, and using obscene language. All questions and comments shall be directed to the presiding officer. Members of the governing body may respond to the comments during their closing comments if they desire.
Dr. Valami?
Good evening, Madam Mayor. Before you start the clock, let me ask for a point of privilege, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it granted?
Yes, granted.
Thank
So
you.
granted.
Thank you. The reason I'm asking for a point of privilege because on January the 5th, as I sit where you see me sitting this evening, I observed something that really were very disturbing to me. And the first thing that I saw that let me really say this to the chairwoman. You did an amazing job for your first term.
Thank you.
And being in a leadership chair, vice chair, and member, I know that anxiety can hit us and, it's not as easy as it looked, but needless to say, you was amazing. You still got room for improvement, but you was amazing. Now, to carry on to my point of privilege, my privilege is that on January the 5th, you called the work session to order. And you received a motion from Councilman 1 and Councilman 3, which allow you to be able to carry to your next item. Within doing your next item, you didn't have anything you need to do, so you went to your next one. I'll just skip 2 a little bit. I don't want to be long. But I think by me sitting in positions of leadership, that you got to the very end where there was a resolution to be read for the person whose term it is for pro temp right now. You read the resolution. There were 6 items in there, 5 to 6 items. You was amazing. And you was about to vote, but Ward 4 said, we don't vote during work session. Good catch. And you proceeded. With that, you had an executive session like you did a moment ago. You all proceeded to go to the executive session. Whatever you do back there, that's your business. But when you come out here, it becomes our business. I knew you would have to have a vote when you carry over into your regular session. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's a basic Robert Rules of Order. You return back. No one who should have had you covered, they didn't cover you. I'm sorry she's not here. Miss Rainey is the clerk. She should have covered you. Even our attorney, Metro College, could have covered you. You should have called for a reconvene. You should have called. You didn't. You rolled right over into your regular session. So with a vote being due for your regular session for Mayor Pro, is it really, can we say that that motion for her to be Mayor Pro was given correctly? Or do we need to understand we had a mistake and we need to go back and fix it? Neither here or there. I'm going to use the word allegedly because we pay a city attorney. And I don't want to say that our city attorney can tell you that some meetings you hold, you do not have to come back and reconvene. You can roll over to regular session. But in this case, on January the 5th, you had to come back and reconvene. I know this is not to offend anyone. It's just my nature. I'm a big advocate for Robert Rules of Order. I attend many leadership classes. I read a lot. And when I saw that my mayor that I worked for and voted for wasn't covered, I got a problem with that. So, Madam Chair, thank you for that point of order. I'm gonna step back so I can get my 3 minutes and talk about my volleyball team.
Dr. Falani.
Well, we're getting ready for our season. As you all know, I am a two-time championing, and I know everybody gonna come for me and my scholars. The good part of it is that I enjoy coaching, I enjoy playing, enjoy literacy reading. I'd be very remiss if I wouldn't even say, let me retract a little bit. I want to thank our chief who's sitting in our management position and also running our fire department. Hats off to you, Chief. You're doing an amazing job in my eyesight. Now back to the volleyball team. I didn't coach basketball this year due to the fact I wanted to balance myself. I didn't want to be here and then run there and go to this meeting and come to that meeting, go down and come back around. So I balanced myself. This is 2026, you guys. It's time for us to shine like never before. We're getting ready to entertain World Cup. Allegedly, I'm gonna keep that word going because we pay our attorney. We won't have nothing in the pot to invite them 5 minutes from the airport. Don't say anything, Chief. 5 minutes from the airport that we can assure ourselves we can look for a return. Now, you may have something in plan, that's your business, but you haven't told us. So to us, you don't have nothing. Needless to say, it's time for this city of Forest Park to elevate. That's just the bottom line. When we agree to disagree, that's what it is. But don't hinder the constituents from seeing something when they get up, other than what they see that is really just leaving us. We are ready for a change. I got 44 more minutes. You don't have second. You don't have a soul behind me. And I was here when y'all wrote up that comment. 10 minutes allotted, added, subtract by whomever. But nevertheless, all jokes aside, if I didn't tell you Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Good evening.
Yeah. Just let us know when the volleyball game is, okay? Let us know when the volleyball game is. Okay. We'll recognize Daphne Nguyen.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Dr. Mayor, Madam Mayor, Gwen Ellison, and the council members, and all of those that are here. I just want to say that I am so honored to be in full support of your leadership in this city. I'm honored that God has ordained and orchestrated you to be in this seat at this moment. And as the woman spoke before me, this is a place and a time of elevation. And my prayer is that we move in collaboration and community, unity, and harmony and peace among each other, because we're all brethren. And at the end of the day, we want the same things, and that is to rise above the person who sat before us and ran before us and paved the path for us to be here. And so my prayer is that you hear that, adhere to that, and that we move forward in unison. And that's my comment for tonight. God bless you.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Latron Price.
Greetings, Madam Mayor and council and constituents and community. My name is Latron Price. I'm new to this room, not new to Forest Park, but I'm definitely new to this room. And I am honored to be here. I'm honored to serve, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you all. We are a business owner here. We are one of the only Black-owned produce and food distribution companies here in Forest Park. But we have a regional reach, and I look forward to serving and being a part of our community in many capacities. One of the things I want to say particularly to Dr. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Falami, correct. That example of community stewardship in your comments moved me. In fact, I had something else I was going to say and decided that ain't even worth after you just did what you did. And I want to just say that that type of communal engagement and stewardship over our governance, we are the electorate and we are the people who really, truly have the responsibility of stewardship, and we elect folks to do that job. And I want to say thank you for that. I think that taught not only me, but many other people in the room how to act and respond to things that are happening under our stewardship. And so I will leave with that. You all, God bless you. May God keep us all and lead us.
Amen. Now we'll have the city manager's report.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council. Tonight's city manager's report. Are we gonna get it up, Director Cobb? Oh, here we go. Reflects momentum across multiple departments as we continue our work to stabilize operations, strengthen internal controls, and advance the strategic priorities of the city of Forest Park. I want to thank our department directors and staff for their continued professionalism, adaptability, and their commitment to serve. And without further delay, we'll get right into the city manager's report. And I'll start with economic development under the lovely Director Rochelle Dennis. If you drive through Forest Park, you will see the available development signs that are up and down downtown on Main Street and in the district acreage. The Office of Economic Development attended the FIFA World Cup watch party hosted by Aerotropolis, ATL, and is actively planning initiatives to ensure Forest Park capitalizes on the economic opportunities surrounding the FIFA World Cup, and we'll be bringing those initiatives to our residents and governing body. On December 12th, 2025, the Office of Economic Development hosted the inaugural Best of Forest Park Business Awards to honor the outstanding achievements of our business community. Job well done. I had the opportunity to attend that. They also attended the Clayton County Workforce Development Roundtable spearheaded by Clayton County Chamber of Commerce. Kudos to our Economic Development Department. Thank you. Our executive office, held by our beautiful chief of staff, directed the mayoral salute event and our mayoral transition with our outgoing mayor and our incoming mayor, Miss Gwen Ellison, or Honorable Dr. Gwen Ellison. I want to get that right. We executed strategy for the newly launched operations and performance management report for the entire enterprise to align with the One Forest Park vision, our operational efficiency, our neighborhood sustainability, and our economic development, plus our employee culture. And you can find that on the city's website, removed or in alignment, not only under the city manager's area on the city's website, but on the front page. We changed it. The city clerk, there was a total of 181 open records requests that were received. And out of that, 134 were completed. For our public information officer, our office, there was a total of 19 work orders completed. You're here, I'm going to skip finance because you're here in an updated finance report or presentation as we get to presentation, so I'll skip this. Our Office of Human Resources, under the dual-rolled Director Brown, who's leading as clerk tonight. The Human Resources Department coordinated the Employee Holiday Gala on December 13th, 2025 at the Morrow Event Center. It was a beautiful, beautiful event. They also hosted an Empower breakfast meeting for employees along with one-on-one sessions on December 17th of 2025. Moving right along to our Fire and Emergency Services under the leadership of Chief Clemens, but also under those two deputies that are sitting back there, Chief May and Chief Halcom. Couldn't do this without them. We've updated our Code Red platform. There's a new registration link that has been placed on the city's website. We had our very first ever Junior Fire Marshal's graduation at Unidos. That was the first ever. The next one is slated to be held at, don't shoot me. I got to come back with that school. Huey, thank you. I just heard it. Huey Elementary, thank you. Forest Park hosted the Buddhist monks as they walked through the city during their Walk for Peace journey. That was just a wonderful blessing that we all had an opportunity to engage and align with some peace with the Buddhist monks that have walked from Texas and on their way to DC. Next is our Information Technology Department under Director Joshua Cox. They've been doing a lot of work in that department. Server refresh continues, including replacing the core host servers as well as consolidating down to one data center in preparation for the migration to the new City Hall. They're continuing to migrate to T-Mobile for cellular services and have completed a replacement of all of our hotspots. They had a hardware refresh project, which they're prepping for the annual hardware deployments as part of our 5-year computer refresh plan, as well as decommissioning hardware in order to shut server rooms down at the fleet department completely. So a lot of work being held under the IT department. Thank you, Director Cox. I'm sorry? He's going to do that right at presentation. Thank you. And then moving on to municipal courts under Director Dorothy Roper Jackson. In 2025, there were over 14,000 traffic citations that were received. And of those, 12,636 citations have been successfully disposed of. During the same period, court services received 1,078 environmental court citations, of which 857 have been disposed of to date. Total bonds, fines, and fees collected for the month of December was well over $120,000. Total revenue collected for the month of December was well over $271,468.97. Thank you, Director Dorothy Roper Jackson. Our Planning and Community Development Department, now under the leadership of Ms. Savon Irons Kamasa. You've heard her at the podium earlier. It says here they've obtained, let me just go back. They've obtained the Thriving Community Grant from Norfolk Southern. That grant was for $50,000. It's utilized for the new dog park located at Bill Lee Park. They also obtained a grant for $1,000 to conduct the city landscaping project. That was a community development block grant. And Forest Park is one of 4 municipalities that received the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. Forest Park applied, community development applied, and we were awarded that opportunity to participate in this program that will benefit Forest Park with their new housing initiatives. So kudos to Planning and Community Development. Who says Forest Park is not working? All right, and our police department and code compliance under Chief Brandon Chris and his team, the drone request services, they had 305 drone requests for service, and total flight, when that drone goes up in the air, there were like 310 of those. Open records requests that were completed, Records Office had 141, Internal Affairs had 40. They had hosted a community affairs event Shop with the Hero, which I had an opportunity to attend that event at the Walmart out in Fort Gillum, or Ellenwood, I apologize. Great event. They had their holiday glitz and glam, and then their grand inspection. 87 filled positions, so they're 92.5% staffed. And then let's move along to code compliance. There were 129 signs removed from the right of way. So thank you for the job that both police and code compliance are doing. And then our Public Works Department under Director Alton Matthews. We'll move down just to the sign projects. There was a 80% of replacement of school crossing signs citywide, so 80% complete, which is great. Relocated and added signage at the Legacy Dog Park. And then we have our Linda Way Sidewalk project, which is roughly 90% complete. And then our Star Park revitalization. We're coordinating with the design team on red line plans for submittal to Clayton County Water for approval. So a lot of conversation, a lot of moving parts, happening between Public Works and all the projects that we have going on. Our Rec and Leisure Department, under the leadership of Director Tyreek Maxwell and his team, they had over 20 programs with the Legacy residents for the month of December. The Legacy residents visited Governor's Glen Assisted Living Program, honoring former state representative Frank Bailey. The Frank Bailey Senior Center is named after him. They had a New Year's Eve celebration, which was combined with the birthday celebration, a luncheon with the Sassy Seniors and a violinist named Camille Brown who performed. So a lot of great activities going on at the Senior Center. A lot of moving parts between all of our departments. Job well done, team. Madam Mayor, that concludes the city manager's report.
We will now move to the presentations. Introduction to 5 new hires for the fire department. Deputy Chief Jeff May will present the introductions.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
So it's my privilege to sit down.
You good, Chief?
I'll speak loud enough. All right, so it's my privilege this evening to introduce 5 new employees for the department. 3 of which are here this evening. I'll start off with Ken Pruitt, our newest paramedic here.
Good evening, my name is Chris Pruitt. I've been a paramedic for approximately 12 years. I'm just excited for the opportunity and being a part of Fort Talk right now.
Awesome. Well, meaning he's got Mr. Johnny Parrish, he's also a paramedic for us.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here to help grow and strengthen and be an integral part of bringing service to the community and the citizens here. Happy to be here.
Next is Mr. Eric Granados.
Good evening, good evening. I was actually raised in the city of Forest Park, so it's good to give back to the community. Thank you.
He is a firefighter at AEMT with us. We also have Montavious Whiters and Sensuous Shisharel. I'm sure I butchered his name. I have to apologize to him when I see him. But both of them are also AEMTs who have joined our department in the last couple of weeks. And we are also in the process of hopefully onboarding a few more here shortly. So I'll hopefully get to introduce those to you here shortly in the next little while also.
Okay, our financial reporting of the 2025-26 monthly financial report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Evening.
All right. Next slide. This is the FY 2025-2026 monthly financial report. This is for the month of December. First slide is the general fund December summary by category. Gives you a snapshot of the period ending of 12/31/2025. You got revenues or budget, I'm gonna mention revenues and expense is budgeted at 43,825,857. Revenues, year-to-date actual, we're sitting at 23,667,781. The actual expenses is 21,576. Next slide. Slide 2, the general fund by department, which gives you the budget to actual monthly spending and the percentage of the budget being used. And this particular graph here, it shows the departments have only used 49% of their budget overall. So this is per the city. So that tells us that we are definitely at the 6-month juncture. And we're right there with 49-50%. So we're trending pretty good. The last slide, third slide, this slide here gives you an overview of all the other funds, revenue, and expense budgets and year-to-date balances with other various funds that we monitor. Next slide. And that's it. Any questions? No. Short and sweet.
Got one, Mayor.
Yes.
We hadn't had a report in a while in our emergency response fund. Do you keep up with that? Do you put that in your reports? Our emergency fund that we keep in the back?
Yes, it is.
Is it where it should be?
It is. It's our emergency fund.
Yep.
It's in the general fund.
Mhm.
So yes, we do keep up and monitor that.
Well, I know we had some talk sometime back about, things that we wanted to do in advancement we were making, it was a possibility that if somebody wanted to go into that or whatever, that emergency fund for a certain amount of time, but I feel like that money needs to be left alone just for emergency for the city of Barnesville.
If we do go into that particular account line, that will have to first be talked with the city manager and then come before you to move money out of there. Yeah, we can't just automatically move that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? We have another presentation. We have another new hire. Director Cox, I'd like you to introduce him.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Yes, I'm very excited to introduce. We have a new employee in the IT department. This is Chisper Hatcher, goes by Chip. You may recognize him. He's from Forest Park. There's a little bit of background. He served in the Air Force Reserves. He's got a Bachelor of Information Technology from Clayton State University, and he's a certified advanced RPA developer. So he's got a little bit of a background in coding. So he's our new employee joining the IT team as our technology innovation engineer. The core focus for this role is going to be looking for ways to improve processes, efficiencies, citizen engagement through the use of technology where it makes sense to. So that's going to be his goal, is spending time with departments and looking for ways to make us efficient as a city and provide a better service for all our citizens. So happy to introduce.
Welcome. You want to say something, Chip?
Yeah, I just want to say I look forward to working with everybody, and this is my 3rd week, so this has been I've been enjoying it up to this point, so looking forward to continue to work with everyone else here.
Thank you. Welcome.
Do you make house calls?
Next, we have a presentation, Transforming Code Compliance Through Integration with the Police Department.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council, City Manager. Hope everyone's having a good night. This is just a short presentation of what we have done since code compliance has been placed under the police department. So if you will, go to the next slide for me, please. Why integration matters. So we're taking a modern and unified approach to the city ordinance compliance. Oh, thank you. All right, let's try this again. We're taking a modern approach, a unified approach to to our city ordinance compliance and enforcement. All right. Background and purpose. The code compliance currently falls within the police department, starting last month. So if one didn't know, both entities enforce city ordinances, and we also serve as courts, officers of the courts. So this integration creates stronger coordination, officer safety, and accountability. And I'll talk about officer safety further down. And then our goal is to move from a reactive model to a proactive model and taking a service-driven approach. If you go to the next slide, please. So some of our immediate improvements since integration. So this is that officer safety piece. We have issued all of our code compliance officers body-worn cameras. What that does is create transparency. We can utilize that as evidence in our courts. In addition to that, it also is for officer safety purposes as well. We have also issued them portable radios now that they are now monitored by police dispatch. No matter what profession you're in, especially if you are someone to enforce some type of law or city ordinance, we never know when trouble may be called upon. And so with these portable radios, now they're able to connect to our dispatch immediately, and we're able to respond in the event there is an emergency. So what we're doing is improving officer safety, documentation, and accountability. These establish daily operational connectivity to the actual police department. And lastly, we have also identified space within the police department, especially since the city center is forthcoming. If this is a permanent move, we have identified space to house all of code compliance as well. What we also are doing is creating standard operating procedures. So since code compliance was brought into existence probably 3 years ago, there's no standard operating procedures in place. So what this is going to do is actually give our employees direction and more understanding of the job they are supposed to do on a daily basis. Our SOPs will bring consistency. It'll have training standards, accountability, and it will also reduce our liability. This moves code compliance into a modern, more professional enforcement model. And all code compliance officers has also been added into our online policy database. This is how we are able to see if our officers have read the policy and they understand the policy, because they have to sign off on this policy. Okay. Why this makes the city stronger, one may ask. So I just discussed the officer safety portion of it. Better documentation and court-ready cases. So now you're not just relying on that officer's testimony. Now we have some type of video evidence to support it as well. Stronger supervision and training, as well as accountability. And last but not least, more efficient use of city resources and personnel. So at one point in time, prior to it coming under the police department, we were paying for services that the police department was paying for, but also code compliance was paying for. And so they wouldn't have known this had it not been, had this merger not happened. So what we have did was we have made those as single source vendors, so that now we're not paying for dual services. In addition to that, the radios, we also had multiple vendors for our body-worn cameras. So now that everything is under one umbrella, it should allow us to be more efficient. Community benefits, more consistent and fair enforcement of ordinances, better response time and follow-up. So now, and you'll see in the slide to come, how I plan on moving forward with better response times and follow-ups. We talked about the increased trust through transparency and professionalism with those body-worn cameras, and a cleaner and safer community and more attractive community. In addition to that, we'll be able to take a unified approach to all issues. So one may not know, but the police department is also able to enforce code compliance issues as well. So not only if code compliance is off of work due to the weekend and there's an issue that that needs to be handled immediately, our law enforcement officers can respond and address that concern immediately. If you go to the next slide, please. Building a proactive, service-driven model. Assign, and this is what I want to do. Currently, we're not able to assign one code compliance to each ward. I think that would be very beneficial to our residents, and not only the residents, to our city council members. So they are able to take ownership of those particular wards. So if there is an issue, you'll have that one point of contact, and that person will be responsible for that particular area. They'll also be familiar with the neighborhood issues, improve response time and consistency of enforcement. But also that ownership piece is very important. Just by driving through the individual wards, we'll be able to see which code compliance officers are really putting in that work and taking ownership of those areas. I also want to create a position to oversee individuals assigned to community service. And this is through a partnership with our court services. And what this looks like is this community services coordinator. Those individuals that are assigned to community service, we can deploy crews to address grass, debris, litter, and blight. And essentially our legacy community, those residents that are struggling with compliance. And we will take a focus on solving problems rather than issuing citations. And this is just those individuals that are on community service, that person, and my goal is to have a team of about 10 to 15 people per day that is going out here, and we're addressing these issues, cleanup crews, helping residents, cutting grass, things of that nature. So that's kind of the vision I see with this community services coordinator. And I discussed it'll be court-ordered community service to improve visibility in the neighborhoods, target those chronic issues. We would also partner with Public Works and other community groups. And last but not least, it creates accountability with immediate, visible results. Engaging the community, technology, and trust. Expand code compliance and police social media presence. I believe that we want to show the job we're doing in the community through our social media. For the police department side, we're posting almost every single day of the things that we're doing in the community. And I believe we can do the same thing for our code compliance as well. Educate our residents on ordinances and common violations. Showcase cleanups, success stories, and compliance wins. And in addition to that, increase transparency and public confidence. Instead of the block parties, the traditional block parties, I want to host ward forums. And this will be a joint effort where we're talking about crime issues, but we also are showing the community on how we can, how to utilize that one-click platform to its full potential. And then in addition to that, create a two-way communication with the shared responsibility. And that moves us to have data-driven operations. You can see those track trends and hot spots. We can prioritize enforcement and cleanup based on impact. We can measure our performance and outcomes, and then we can provide those regular reports to city leadership and council. I talked about the joint police and code operations, these monthly clean initiatives, business and landlord education and compliance outreach, and then these quarterly public scorecards on neighborhood conditions so we can actually grade the job that we're doing. From vision to reality, how do we do it? So finalizing our SOPs is, and we're working with our city attorney to make sure that we are compliant and up to date. Complete the ward assignments, stand up the community service coordinator functions, which we'll probably have to wait till the next budget year. Hopefully we'll have some monies available for that. And then moving forward with launching the ward forms to enhance our communication and campaign. In closing, this integration is already producing real measurable improvements. I know Chief Clemens showed you all just a snapshot on their city manager's report, but there's a lot more things that we're doing than shown today. We're building a modern, professional, service-driven code compliance operation. This approach improves safety, accountability, and quality of life, and together we can raise the standard for Forest Park. Thank you. I know I said a lot. I said a few more than I would have liked to tonight. But I am open to any questions that you all may have.
So I got one.
Yes, sir.
I noticed in my ward, I ride it pretty regular, and there seems to be a lot of multi-tenants staying in single dwelling houses. Now, do we have some way that we can keep up with that? I mean, at the afternoon, when normally the code enforcement is here, you ride around and look, and there's cars, 7, 8 cars parked in different houses. I know, I mean, they're gone one day and they're the next. You know, there's just a lot of that going on, and I just wondered how we could nip that to find out what's going on.
Yes. So a few different things. Having that code compliance officer assigned to a specific ward, they can address those issues specifically. In addition to that, if we need to alter their schedule so they come in later and they're able to see it, that's another way we can address it. One thing I am beginning to see a lot more of crash pads, and crash pads aren't necessarily a bad idea, long as they're managed properly. And what a crash pad is, being that we're so close to the airport, you have some airlines that hire flight attendants from other areas, and they are based out of Atlanta. And so they may need a place to crash, and that's why they call them the crash pads. But it's not a Airbnb, but they rent rooms so that they will have a place to stay when they're in town. But for the most part, they're in and out. We just have to take a creative approach because I do believe that's a great market to have, long as it's monitored properly, where we're now able to cater to those employees of the Atlanta Hartsfield Airport.
Well, I had a situation right above me there that one of the multi-tenants that lived there, and I told code enforcement prior, and they had an outside bathroom, porta potty. I mean, there's many of them staying there, they all can't go to the bathroom at the same time. So they rented a potty, brought it out there, told code enforcement prior before once you got it. They went over there and investigated, and they said that they was remodeling the inside of their house, and they didn't want the workers to use their bathrooms. Well, I took that with a grain of salt. Well, 2.5 months later,
They're still outside.
and the outside of the house hadn't been changed, and then all of a sudden, the bathroom disappeared. Which I'm thankful for that through y'all, but I mean, that's the type of situation that I'm getting in my ward is there's so many staying there and so many cars, and it's just something we need to, I know everybody's gotta have a place to stay, but you know, there's limitations there.
Yeah, these ward forums will help us identify these issues sooner rather than later. And I really want to get that up and running pretty quickly. But there's some additional things that could have been done in that situation. And I do apologize that they weren't done. We could have checked to see if they were permits pulled to see that they were actively doing work inside of that location. So just a little bit more of an investigative piece. And if those permits were not pulled, if the city ordinance does address it, we would have addressed it. But that's where we also learn.
Cause I went up there and borrowed the bathroom one day.
Received.
Just kidding.
But I do also know that some of our city ordinances are not touching everything. And so they need to be touched. So it's going to take some time to redevelop those holes in our city ordinances with working with our our city attorney to make sure we can fill those holes and gaps.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Chief Chris,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
having an issue in Ward Two. The police has been at this property multiple times. Incidents, um, I, and it's not a crash pad,
Okay,
but they crashing,
they're crashing.
they crashing.
All right,
And reached out to code compliance up under our former director. Um, and the feedback, was it was only so far they were allowed to go into the house.
got it.
Okay. I know there was remodeling going on. Also, the garage has been modified. And so when you, at night, you can just see, I don't know somebody has, if it's a rehab, I don't know, house, I don't know. I don't, even though I'm in the drug addiction, industry, I don't want a rehab, house in my community. I don't. It brings on so many elements. So I really want to get with you, because this is ongoing. It's ongoing, and I'm getting complaints, just complaints.
Understood. With this, with the law enforcement piece to it, we can always look at the history of a house, and let's just say that problem house has been getting numerous 911 calls. Well, we can now move forward and we can enforce a Georgia law called disorderly house, where individuals, well, let me find the best words. We'll take action against those individuals if we have to cite them under disorderly house. Okay, but if you will, let me know those addresses so we can address it.
That would constitute a crash house. It's actually a boarding house under the code, and they have to have a specific license to operate. So any home that's subdivided, it's multiple, it doesn't even have to be it's not subdivided, it's multiple rooms, but they're leasing out one room for maybe a night. You can't just do that. It's regulated by the city zoning ordinances.
Well, I know it. I got
Yeah.
one of those in behind me, and they get up there and fight for parking. Uber does. There's so many of them in there.
Yeah,
But-
I think code enforcement and the city planner could get together to determine whether or not those are permissible locations.
Madam Mayor. Yes. I just want to say thanks, Chief. Great job. I think this was a great move, City Manager, in making this move. I love the presentation. I think that what you're gonna bring to, code compliance, with the police department is great. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate the presentation. I also like the, having that one person assigning each ward. I think it just adds that, I don't know, that more relationship and them explaining to us and maybe having these check-in meetings or something, just letting us know what the issues are so we can, address them. I guess with the parking, I will say that some of, like the people in my ward have told me when they've gotten cited is they'll have like their business truck or then they have their personal use vehicle. So just keeping that in mind, I guess that will go with planning, building and zoning, that now that we did get rid of some of those fees, people might be able to extend their driveways or, just make it bigger. And it's understandable not, not parking on the grass, but just keeping that in mind that we have a lot of people in construction and roofing, painters, that just don't have our driveways. A lot of the houses in Forest Park were built a long time ago, and the driveways are very small. So, but thank you for this. I look forward, just to making our city better, and also just keeping these landlords accountable to what the standards should be for people living here. So not just with businesses, but with the homes here. So thank you, Chief.
My pleasure. And just to add this on, and Councilwoman Gunn had reached out to us. We actually went out and visited all of our senior communities here recently, and they were all of the issues that we observed were dealt with and or being fixed currently. And so we'll be able to prepare that report in the next city manager's report, just to show how that initiative went. Thank you.
Wait, wait, Chief. No, I didn't have a question, not necessarily a question. I just wanted to say thank you. Because the presentation was absolutely amazing. You kind of touched on something, that was kind of discussed a little bit today. But I think that and I'm kind of 50-50 as far as combining code compliance. Well, I was until your presentation. But I think it's a great idea. It gives room for growth in a small department. But I just really appreciate you. I think you're an asset to our community. I think you're an asset to the police department. And everybody knows how I've felt about the police department. You've changed that. And so I just want to say thank you for all that you do, all that your team does is very much appreciated. And I also think that the assisting the elderly, like the program that you discussed, I think that's an amazing initiative. And, you know, because everybody in Forest Park can't afford to get their grass cut or can't afford to get something done on the outside of their homes. And so instead of citing them, which would put them in more debt, you're looking for ways to help them. So I think that's amazing. So thank you so much, Chief.
My pleasure, and thank you for your kind words.
Yeah, Chief, and recently I was just engaging back and forth on a app known as Nextdoor and also some of the other platforms where y'all's police presence is kind of something that people say that is too much or overwhelming. And I keep highlighting the fact that you had mentioned to us how most of these interactions are not citations, they're actually warnings, and we're not out there, you know, bringing revenue to the state. That's not our main focus of being out there. So I would say also highlighting more of that in some way. I know a few months ago you showed us those numbers.
Yes.
So just to really show the community and why it is that, you know, we have all those patrol cars on Jonesboro Road and Forest Parkway, but that's not just, you know, because we're looking for people that have a tail light out. We're looking for actual criminals and why that's there.
That is correct. We're trying to keep those individuals from coming into the city to commit crime. Just based off of our research, we have discovered that majority of our crime is happening. They're coming inside the city off of Jonesboro Road, Old Dixie, committing crimes, jumping on the highway and leaving. And so that is the reason why you see an increased presence. And since that increased presence over the last 2.5 years, we have decreased crime over 60%. So thank you. Is that it?
Thank you, Chief. No consent agenda. We'll move on to public hearing. I will entertain a motion to recess the regular meeting and enter into the public hearing for case number TA-2025-04.
So moved.
I'll second.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes carried. The motion is carried. We have council approval of case number TA-2025-04, text amendment for Title 8, Planning and Development, Chapter 8, Zoning, Article A, General Provisions, text amendment for Title 8, Planning and Development, Chapter 8, Zoning, Article F, Boards and Commissions, Section 8-8-160, Rules and Procedures of the City of Forest Park Code of Ordinances to amend such section, adding Section D, exemption for single-family home alterations of the Planning and Community Development Department. Okay. Motion to close?
The 10 minutes for the
This is a public hearing. There will be 10 minutes for each side. So that would begin with those in favor and then those opposed. So we'll begin with those in favor.
Reading Governor Body.
Good evening.
I am in agreement with the single family home alteration. I am actually still trying to make my mind up on a couple others. But the single family homes, I know I am in agreement because we do not want to have the kind of redevelopment to get no permit to beautify our home. And yes, I'm gonna just say I'm in favor with that. And I hope some of the neighbors come and talk about the other case numbers that is before us this evening. Thank you.
Any more in favor? Is there anyone who is not in favor who would like to speak? I will entertain a motion to end the public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting.
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Regular meeting convened. Reconvene. We'll move on to new business. Motion to close the public hearing and enter in regular session.
So, Madam Mayor, I will make a motion to approve the case TA 2025-04 text amendment for Title for Title 8, Chapter 8. For Title 8, Chapter 8, for Section 8-1-160 and D. Okay. I made that motion. Any second?
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. We approve council has approved case number TA-2025-4, text amendment for Title 8. And now we will close the public hearing and begin the regular session. The new business, item number 6, council approval of resolutions to approve a revised incentive policy, the human from HR department.
Make a motion that we approve the resolution.
Any second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Council approval to consider appointments of the Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee.
So, Madam Mayor, I believe this particular item and the next item we're going to discuss in the executive session on appointing members to the board.
Closing comments by the governing body.
Okay.
Councilwoman James.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you everyone for coming out. We appreciate you. We will have the January ward meeting up on the website this week. You can go and take a look at it. Want to give a big shout out to the Forest Park businesses that partnered with the cluster of schools on Saturday. We had a nice showing for our Forest Park business breakfast, connecting those communities to all of our schools, 10 schools, two middle school, Babb and Forest Park, and the high school, as well as all the elementary schools that feed into it. So we want to thank you all for that. Something else I just forgot, but it's okay. Thank you to all of our new employees. Thank you. Welcome aboard for IT and the fire department. We appreciate having you on board here in the city of Forest Park. We're looking for great things.
Awesome.
I want to recognize one resident from Ward 2, that is Ann Keith. And do you mind just standing up real quick so everybody can lay the eyeballs on you? Ann is a resident, has been a resident here in Forest Park for many years, went to school here. And I am so excited in her adventure where she is about to land. She's also your chair over the beautification committee. Also, very active in this community. Does a lot, has her hands in so many different areas, and she's so modest. She doesn't tell a lot, but she's leaving for Katina, Italy, and this will be her 18th time where she will be working with NBC covering the Olympics, right? You guys give her a hand. That is so amazing. I was just blown away to find that. Blessings to you, Ann, and get on back here to Forest Park. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Also to our residents, thank you for allowing us to see and know that we really did a good job in putting the Legacy Dog Park in place. We're seeing a lot of turnout. People are active and people are connecting with each other, just sitting and hanging around, watching their dogs run to and fro. So I'm so excited what the city has put together for our resident and additional space for activity. Also, I want to give a shout out to two of our food pantries here. We know that the Rock Church does an amazing job, but we have other entities that are serving in this community. One of them is takes place every second Monday of every month. That's from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. and that's at 4981 Phillips Drive. And that is with Dr. Leon Beeler at Gateway Restoration. Also, Liberty Ministries Worship, they show out this Saturday, headlines wrapped around the building, and they serve so many people, you guys, and they are located at 654 Main Street, Forest Park. And so just want to give accolades to all of these different ministries and nonprofit organizations that really come out and do an amazing job with civic duties in this community to serve. One last thing, our City Hall meeting for Ward 2. We're going to cancel that and reconvene that in the month of February. So our City Hall town hall meeting will be canceled this Thursday, and we will come and reconvene that in the month of February. You guys, thank you. You guys be attentive to your traveling this week. Stay in alignment with forecasts. And if you don't have to get off the road, if you don't have to get out there on the road, you guys stay home and enjoy your family. Thank you so much. Good night.
Apologies, Councilwoman, I didn't attend your event. I was out of town, and that's one of my events I look forward to every year. So I'm glad you still held it. I just want to, first of all, welcome the new employees of the city. Welcome to our family here in Forest Park. Anything I can do for you, please reach out. Today I didn't recite the pledge because I'm just hurt as a war veteran. I think a lot of the things going on in our country are just, this MLK weekend, I really took time to reflect. And, the MLK Day of Service is something that I'm intentionally planning every year on Monday to do something. And, how he opposed the government when they were doing what, the flag promises or what the country promises to our people is something that I feel like I need to be more outspoken with. And I'm not going to do it up here, of course. I'm here to handle city business and be professional, but it's something that has affected me, how people that, look like me or might have an accent are being targeted. So I just want to apologize to anybody, but I don't feel it, so I'm not going to say it. So that's that. And then, Mayor, you're doing a great job. I just want to tell you that. I know you last time was your first meeting, and you hit it out the park again today. So I look forward to continue your work. Shout out to Miss Ann Keith. She is one of the super volunteers we have at the school all the time. And I'm so proud of you to go and, to Italy to represent us. We're going to give you a little Forest Park pin. So if you can get some camera time, make sure you just stick your chest out so they can see us over there and take pictures and send them to us. and yeah, take some pictures with some from Team ESA people. But I think that's it. We have I scheduled some Pilates class for the community at the at 696 on the 21st. We're working on getting this knitting going for the seniors this month also, so that's exciting. And besides that, we won't be having Food Truck Friday because of the weather, but I'm moving to having a quarterly ward meeting. I know that Councilwoman James has one every month, so I don't want to be redundant. But I drove around today, my ward, and I saw some things that I want to address. So I want to make sure that the people on ward know these things. We're almost done with the park, so if you go to Theater Park, you'll see that it's coming along. But yeah, besides that, anything I can do for y'all, thank you for the public comments tonight. And also, I saw Mr. Parker out there with a sign. Thank you for exercising your rights out there, Mr. Parker. I hope you're not cold because it was pretty cold when I went there. Thank you.
Oh, I'd just like to say thanks to everyone for coming out. And again, reiterate what I said. As far as our employee, I was talking about chief, but I just wanna, everybody knows I'm an advocate for our employees. I believe in treating the janitor with the same respect as I treat a council member or a director. So I just want to let our employees know that you are appreciated. You have a voice, use your voice, go through your chain of command, because they always say I'm getting at public personnel. So go through your chain of command, but just know that you are important and your voice matters. All of our employees, not just the directors, and those, the higher ups, but everyone. So I just want to state that. And to our amazing mayor, I think you are doing a phenomenal job, with the things that hit last meeting that you weren't aware of. I think you came back and, like Councilman Gutierrez said, and knocked it out of the park. So thank you to the transition team and everyone that has something to do with our mayor being great. I really appreciate you. And I want to say thank you to our council aides. Without our council aides, a lot of the things that get done on our behalf wouldn't get done. And so I just want to say thank you to Tanisha and Andre for all of the hard work that you do. Right now, they are so deserving of much more than they have been getting. And so I just want to, every chance I get, I'm gonna thank them for everything that they do. Like right now, Wellness with Wells is going on. And they've been back and forth, making sure that we have food, making sure that Wellness with Wells is taken care of, everything over there. And so they do a lot. And I just want them to know that they are appreciated. Again, Chief Chris, thank you for your amazing leadership, everything that you bring to our community. Tariq, where you at? I know we don't have Fun Fridays going on right now, but I just thank you for being an amazing leader, and doing what you need to do to move our city forward. And just thank everybody for coming out. I hope your new year started off great. If it hasn't, pray. Prayer changes things. And I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.
I want to thank everybody coming tonight too, because this is where your business gets handled right here. But on a lighter note, I got a question for the Public Works Director. He's sitting over there. We have a public gathering place around Hines Ward Pass, which is better known as the public bathrooms. And ride by there several times. There's a lot of people that use those bathrooms more than you would realize. I mean, you see a lot of people take their lunch breaks and all over there, but I was just noticing in the past, not being objective, that the doors are locked sometime in up in the middle of the day, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, maybe raining or something like that. I mean, I'm not fussing about it. I just was asked to ask when they're in the park. That's their home base over there, and I said I'd ask and find out. I'm not just calling you out, but I'm just curious in a jestful way.
Well, generally, they're open up in the morning and they're closed at night, but then we'll definitely take a look at it to make sure they are open.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll tell sexy senior citizens that use it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Just a brief update. There is a community conversation that's going to be taking place. It's called Let's Talk About ICE. It's on, actually, it's happening now. Unfortunately, we missed it, 6 to 7:30, but it was, just got this 2670 Hogan Road, East Point, Georgia. There was a community conversation regarding Let's Talk About ICE. So maybe that's an initiative, Chief Chris, that we can bring here to Forest Park. Thank you.
All hearts and minds are clear? Amen. There's nothing else, we'll motion to recess the regular meeting and enter in executive session.
So move for personnel litigation.
Litigation, real estate, and personnel.
So move.
And I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Meeting adjourned. That was the regular meeting. Yeah. So we got to come back.
Is there a motion to come out of
Right.
executive
Come back.
session? Have a motion in regular meeting?
Yes. Second motion that.
So then there was, Councilwoman Wells, second by Guy. Second
Was
by
it?
Guy. You have a motion?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was one.
Okay. Second, like, Councilwoman Gunn?
Say yes.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.